Good evening, everybody. It's the Saints man, small van driver on the CX, and not on the CX. We'll come to that in a minute. It's Wednesday. It's 5:15, and I'm home. And I've been home all day. We'll come to that as well. This is my Monday to Wednesday. Fuel prices first. My fuel prices did come down. My BP is the one I'm using. It's still not much cheaper than what it is at forecourt, but I'm waiting for a new card. It's coming tomorrow, apparently. I've had an email arrive, which should get my fuel down even more with a new UK fuel cards. So I started off Monday. I left you the last video. I'd picked up a load for Monday, and it was Cambridge, Chelmsford, and Bluewater, which was no problem. I started off 6:30 in the morning. Left the house at 6:30 and cracked on. Got all that done. Ended up in Bluewater. Massive. Is Bluewater massive shopping or what? Well, it wasn't too bad. Traffic wasn't too bad. I picked up a next job, which was Gravesend to North 16. It was north of London, but it was North 16. It was residential, and it was picking up residential, delivering residential. It looked like a bag of shopping. Mother gives the son after she's washed it, but apparently it wasn't. But it was in a big bag, and I took that to a residential. Got a good pay for that. Got 35 quid, and it was for 20 miles because it's London. It did take me a while, but there was not a lot going on the feed. So I took that. Got me up to 135. Thought that was going to be it. Decided where I was in North London to move. I was going to move. Oh, just ate a biscuit, sorry. I was going to move up to the South Mims or somewhere on the M25, or even going to move round to services on the M1, the bottom of the M1. Then it sort of gives me a fair bit to go in, or get Watford or Potter's Bar or anything like that. But then a job popped up from Stevenage to Wimbush, which is Milton Keynes. And I wanted that job because that gets me within 20 miles of home, and it got me home. So, quoted on that, 38, £1 a mile actually, quoted £1 a mile, but I was 10 miles away from it, 10 to 15 miles away. So, still got it, got the job, and it was taking it to the actual shipper's logistics company in Milton Keynes. 2 boxes. Pain in the arse to find. Both sat-navs took me to about 200 yards away from where it was. And where it was on a little industrial estate in Stevenage, it was around the back. But I did find it in the air. I found the company up, actually. And a lady helped me out working from home, and she said, yeah, it does take you the right. You have to just go around the corner. And it was in the corner. But got that done. So that got me on to 173 for the day. And it was good mileage, because I got good mileage on my first job. The London job paid well, and so did this job, even though I got some dead miles. And it got me to Milton Keynes, which was 20 miles from home. And then I got a really good phone call, which was from a shipper who I do a lot of work for, who doesn't put it on the CX. He just phones me up. Got a good relationship with him, and he got a job for me next day, ready to be picked up. So I went over to his. It's only 3 miles from where I live, like I said, and he got a job for me for Tuesday. So Monday I did 253 miles, and I finished by 4:15. I was done by 4:15. Started at 6:30, so it was about 9 3/4 hours all in. That was with a break, and I had one Dartford crossing, because when I did the job from Gravesend to London, I come through the Blackwall Tunnel. So I did £173 in total, and it worked out at 68 pence, which I think is pretty good for January. 68p is good. And I got a load for Tuesday. Got it on board. And I got a really long day Tuesday, which, my God, it was a really long day. It was the longest amount of hours I've worked. Shouldn't probably be saying, but it was. It was enormous amount of hours. But I've done this job regular. This is a regular run for me, probably once a week, once a fortnight probably. I go from my home in Northampton to Oxford, deliver Oxford. There was 2 boxes. Then on to Cheltenham, 2 boxes. Then on to Cardiff, there was 2 boxes. You're getting a theme here. Bristol, 3 boxes. And then Exeter, 2 boxes. It's a good payer. I get £190 and 40 pence. I don't know. So it's the mileage times the rate I do for this man. He puts in a computer chucks it out, and that's what they pay me. They always pay me if it's 25p, or they don't round it up, round it down. It's exactly, that's fine. So that's my day, because 200 on a January a day is good for a small van, I think. That's what I aim for in the summer. I'm only 10 quid short, but I'm about 35, 37 quid short on the 2 days, because I only did 100 for 200. But I've reset my targets, like I said to you, in January, to do probably 180 a day. If I can get that, I'll be happy with that. 175, 180 quid. 180 quid a day is not bad. It's 900 a week, so you take that. But I've got a shipper who, she's not on the CX. She phoned me up sometime last September. Phoned me up. She must have seen me. She still somehow got a tracker. I was in Exeter then, and she says, "Are you available to do it? Are you got a job, or are you waiting for a job?" I said, "I'm waiting." I says, she explained who she was, where she's from. Lovely lady. She's got a fair bit of work down the southwest. Would I be interested in doing this job? This was in September. I said, "Yep." It got me to Bristol, and she's got quite a bit of work. So what I do now, if I'm going to Exeter, Exeter's pretty poor. You can get jobs out of Exeter, but struggle. Anyway, I phoned her up. She got a job from Bruton to Bristol. COVID picking up. And she says, "I've got the regular runs covered." She says, "But I have got a Bruton, which is about an hour from Exeter. It's a fair old way. It's 45, 50 minutes away. 45, 50 mile away. And then up to it's about 80 mile all in, 85 mile, the lot. Touching that anyway. It's about 85 mile. And I said to her, "Well, I'll do it for you because it gets me back to Bristol." And we agreed on 50 quid. I could have probably got more. It's 60, 65p. But it gets me back to Bristol. And that 50 quid takes me to 240 for the day. And I'm tramping out in Bristol. I can tramp, really, there's some really good areas I've tramped in Bristol in the summer. And I expected that was it. And I was done. I was done by 4. I was there at 4:30. Finished. Job's a good one. I've done the rundown. I've done up to Bristol. I'm done for the day. I'm quite happy to sort my bed out. I was getting some grub. I was in Morrison's. Then I was going to go across, get some hot food. I did get a sandwich in Morrison's. I thought, well, if I'm tramping, I want to get my stuff now. And I tramp in Morrison's car park in Cribbs Causeway. There's no restriction, and you can park in the corner. So I do. So I thought that was it for the day. So I got early finish. I didn't know what to do. In the summer, that would have been brilliant, because I'd have gone into Bristol or something, or I had a look around and found something to park or something, had a little stretch my legs, or gone and done something. But it's getting dark. You don't really want to do a lot. So I fueled up at Morrison's, and I went across the road. It's called the Venue, or the View, and there's loads of eateries and that. And I thought, well, I'll sit here and I'll start doing my paperwork, and then we'll get sorted. So then my phone went. I hadn't even quoted on anything. There was nothing. There was nothing in Bristol. There was nothing coming out of Bristol. There's nothing happening. I got a phone call from the same lady. I thought she hadn't got, because I do this one private. I invoice it myself. It's not for the CX. Not even near the CX. I do a private invoice for her. And it works like that. So there's no arrival, all this. It's all done. I've got my invoice system, my own invoice system, which when I do work for people not on the CX, they get my own invoice. It's easy. So I'd done that for 50 quid for 80 odd mile. Parked up, and yeah, it'd been about an hour and a half. Phone went, and it was her. And it was about, by then it was getting near, I don't know, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock, something like that. Probably late, yeah, it was about 6 o'clock-ish, I think. Phone went, she says, "Where are you still in the area?" I said, "I am." I says, "Yeah, I'm in Bristol." Says, "I'm just about to get some grub." I says, "Well, what's the problem?" She says, "Oh, that job's brilliant." She says, "I've got all the info, what you sent was brilliant, just as normal." She says, "Are you interested in doing another job. I said, what you got? She says, I got pick up in Newport. Well, she gave me a postcode, NP13. It weren't Newport, it was Blackwood. Pick up Blackwood, COVID stuff. And then she said, there's another one to be picked up in Cheltenham, but I may be able to get that one down to you, to Swindon. If you can pick it up at Swindon and take it to the Halo building in WC1H. Everyone's probably been there. You must have all been there. I thought, Jesus Christ, this is a long day. This is going to be a long night. She says, you do realise I've been on the road since 6 this morning I started. And I thought, well, I've sat here, I've got my sandwich, I've got sandwiches for the morning. I thought, if I get to London, I says, look, let's work out what we've got here. I've got to go 40 miles from Bristol to Blackwood. I've got Blackwood to Swindon, pick up, Swindon to the Halo. It worked out it was 160 mile all in. She said, I can give you £1 a mile, and I can give you a tenner from going the 40 mile. That's all I can give you. And I'll pay you the 30 quid congestion, ULEZ. So it was 200 quid. Which I'd worked out, if I cracked on and got it done, I'd probably be in London for about 11 at night, something like that. Perhaps 11:30 if it all went well. I thought, sod it. My wife's not working Wednesday, which is today. I thought I could do this. I'd probably be absolutely knackered, but if I do it, I get home, I've got enough money for Wednesday. I don't have to work Wednesday. I'll probably be in my bed by about 12:30. So I cracked on. We agreed a price. She was happy. She tried to barter me. She said, do you mind, can you do it any cheaper? I went, no. I said, look, I'm doing you a favour here. There's no one else going to do this, is there? She went, yeah, fair enough. She says, I've spoken with the customer who pays for this, and they're happy. They're going to pay it. I presume she's getting a good whack on top, don't worry. And I don't mind going into London when it's 11 o'clock at night. Traffic's a lot less. In the day, I would have put another 40 quid on this job, because I knew it would take me longer. But straight down the A40. Got to Blackwood, picked it up. It was a surgery. It weren't even meet anyone. It was in a box. Shows how much they think of COVID tests. They just slung it in a box. Picked that up. Met her driver who'd been to Cheltenham for me to pick this other COVID kit up from Cheltenham. Met him at his house in Swindon. Well, long the year before, met him. By then it was 9 o'clock. And put the code in for the Halo building, and it said I was going to be there at 11:05. And I got there at 11:05. And Halo building's good. You have to go. I think there's a place you can park without going into the congestion. There must be, because it's just off the Marylebone Road. It's literally just off Marylebone Road. You must be able to park somewhere, walk it across, do it. But when it's 11 o'clock at night and I've been paid the congestion, she's paid me of it. I drive around and right outside, and it's a quick, easy drop. Although it's a pain in the arse because you have to come in A40 over Hammersmith, all the way around Shepherd's Bush, White City. You know, it's a bit of a faff. But at 11 o'clock at night, 10 at night, traffic moved. There was no traffic. So dropped it off 11:05. You take a photo for her. This is how she wants it as a job. All done. 11:05. Push the mileage in, 65 miles to home. It's all M1 once I get out of London. And yeah, what I didn't bargain for was they shut off the motorways, don't they, at night? There's a diversion. You can't get on at the M1 at Junction 2. You have to go along the A1 and you end up Watford, Stanmore. You come up there and you get on about Junction 5. You're up the A1 for a bit. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, I was home. I got home about 1:45. Long day. I felt alright. I'd had a couple of coffees. And that was the thing. I thought to myself, do you know what? I feel alright. It's all cruise control. Good radio. Football was on. A bit of rugby talk. A bit of banter on Talk Sport. Yeah, I felt alright. It was only when I got home at about 1 o'clock when I come in the house. Wife was in bed, obviously. I'd already told her what was going on. I said, I'm going to be... Don't leave the key in the door or bolt the door. I'll leave it so I can get in. Else you're going to be in for a shock. And it was when I got in, had a cup of tea, chilled out, sorted the paperwork out. I didn't sort the paperwork out. I got it all out of my briefcase, got the stuff out of the van I needed. And I thought, well, that's it. I ain't going to work Wednesday because I'm just what I'm earned Tuesday is Wednesday also. Yeah, went to bed and that was it. And what was good about it, wife's been off today, so I got up. I still got up at 8:30, but a bit knackered. Did a few jobs, took dog for a walk. A few jobs, then me and my wife, because we don't get much time together when in the week, because I get weekends off. She normally works weekends, although she's not this Saturday, so we're going out. And I said, let's go out, have some lunch. So we've got a nice little place near us that we're in the cafe business, so we know what good cafes are and what are bad. Went to one, I bought a lunch, had a nice lunch, and we got some gluten-free stuff. We went and visited a company that does gluten-free, who we're interested. My wife's gluten-free. So we're interested in doing a bit of business there. They've come through with some business. We've been trying some samples. I'm not gluten-free, just the wife, but for the cafe. So it's all good. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to call it, because obviously it went over into Wednesday. It was a lot of hours. Probably worked out altogether 19 hours, which is mad. It is mad. Shouldn't do it really. But I had about a break of about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours in that. Something like that. Ended up doing 655 miles. Poor old Scylla. 655 miles. Most of it motorway. Most of it on cruise, most of it motorway. Yeah, pretty much all motorway apart from central London and a little bit of Cardiff. And even that's dual carriageway into the centre. £440. So it's a mega day. It is a mega day. It works it worthwhile. 68. I averaged 68 pence a mile. 68 pence per mile, all in. That is not too shabby on a long day, and also it gives me 200. You know, today, you average it out. I'm over 200 a day, and I haven't worked today. Just chilled. Been great. So that's Monday to Wednesday. It is quiet. I say I'm a small van driver on the CX, which I am, but out of I've done 6 jobs in 2 days, and out of them jobs, only 2 of them are CX jobs. The other 4 jobs I've got through contacts, which I've built up. I've only been doing this for 14 months, but I've got one contact who's local to me, who I've got in with, and he's happy with me, I'm happy with him. And he does pretty much good work, and it's early starts with him as well, which suits me because you get the money in the bank. And I've got another contact who's pretty much, he does nationwide stuff, who definitely when I go down the southwest, I phone her up and I normally get something back, and she pays well. She pays £1 a mile for me, virtually, apart from when it's the odd backload. But even that, I normally get it 65-70 pence a mile backload when I'm just looking to get somewhere, and she would give it to me. Even with my dead miles, it works out at 65. But if I'm picking up from where I am, I normally get £1 a mile. So it's the contacts you build up, and they're happy with your work. You do the good job for them, they phone you again. That's all it is. But it is quiet. The CX is quiet. I had the feed on quite a bit yesterday, and when there's normally 180, 200 jobs for small vans, like nationwide, it was 110, it dropped after 3:30 to about 70, and then it even dropped to 50 odd last night. That's why in Bristol I didn't think I'd get something else. But all good. So I've had a good couple of days. It's knackering now, really. Doing that massive day. Yeah, but you're just motorway, and you've got something good on the radio, a couple of coffees keep you going. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it all the time, but you do it once a week or once a fortnight, you get a good wedge, get your pence per mile right, it's all good. Hope you're all doing well. Been watching, there's a couple of other guys now, there's another one, the Manc Courier. I watched a couple of his videos, seems a good lad, Manchester boy. Yeah, got good character. Everyone else doing videos, it is a bit of a struggle, but I think it's going to get easier. It will get easier. It's just getting through January. Yeah, people are reducing the prices, but they was producing the prices to mad stuff, because one of the guys I do work for, he was saying some of the prices he's been getting as a shipper, 50p. 50p. I'm never quoted 50p on a job ever. Even a backload, I wouldn't quote that. But it's just, you're just going to go bust, I think. If you do jobs for 50p, you're not even gonna make a living. I don't get it, but hey, that's me. Anyway, rambled on. 20 minutes. 270 odd subscribers apparently. I looked a couple of days ago. If you got any comments, I'll try my best to answer them. Let's hope we improves on the CX. Just keep going, guys. Keep going. But don't bid 50p on jobs, because you're just going to go bust. Shippers are going to take your cheapest quote. Quick look. Look who's come to see me. Hey? She's a lot better now. 13-year-old. Her eyes are good. Who's a good girl? Hey. Top girl. Her name's Millie. Isn't you? She had a lot of aggro with her eyes. She had ulcer behind her eyes, which it's all cleared up without having an operation. She's 13-year-old. Good as gold. Don't bite me at all. Alright. Speak soon. Take care.